A lot of people think that if you use Linux, you're automatically unhackable, you're automatically secure. But this is a big misconception. Linux is not automatically secure. Millions of servers on the internet run Linux, and of course they're an attractive target for hackers. They might want to steal data, or put Trojans in the servers, or get access to other servers on the Linux system. So, for example, if you don't run updates and patches on your Linux system, it could be your system is vulnerable. For example, the sudo bug, where a user could simply become root without typing any passwords at all. That was a vulnerability in Linux. So you have to keep in mind Linux is not automatically secure. If you run a random bash script from internet, it could give a hacker direct access in your computer, and that just takes one line of code, one little bash script. Or for example, malicious repositories. You add some repository to install some theme, or maybe you install a package for Python or Node.js, and once you install that package, you have your computer hacked, you have your direct access of the hacker into your computer. So it is not automatically secure. Now, of course, you can do things like password hygiene and set up a firewall and so on. But one mistake could give a hacker access into your computer. So Linux is not Fort Knox. You can secure it. You can do a lot of improvements on your Linux system to make it harder for an attacker to get in. But it is not automatically secure by default. And so you might think, okay, what about malware? I don't see any virus on Linux. Well, it does exist. And of course, many Linux users don't use any antivirus software because there is less obvious malware. But that, of course, makes it also an attractive target for hackers. They can develop a custom malware. And if these companies or users are not running any, it makes them an easier target. And they could, for example, distribute it in the repository, or as recently as a mistypo in a Python package, and they could get into a company simply because they installed the wrong package, simply a typo, and then the hacker has access into the Linux system. And besides that, of course, there's things like phishing attacks, social engineering, and a lot of other ways that hackers could get access into the system. So it is not automatically secure, and it's something to keep in mind when you use Linux. Don't add random repositories, keep your system up to date, be careful which distribution you trust. Some distributions, they might not take security serious as others. And so there's a lot of things you can do to stay more secure on Linux, and it's not something you can forget thinking about when you use Linux.